about that moment in your life when you discovered something you love. Think about those times when you've been fully involved with something you're passionate about.
Is it a hobby, an activity, a sport? We all have something that gets us hooked and which we can completely absorb ourselves in.
For me, that passion is football.
And for me, that passion is basketball, but I sure can play football too.
That's right. We're going to be talking about two perspectives. One, that football isn't his favorite, and the other one, that football is his favorite.
That's right, Gory. I remember when Ronaldo said, "Football is a universal language, and I speak it fluently. Success is a journey, not a destination. Mentally, you need to be readier than anyone expects. This shows that you don't need to love a sport to play it."
When I was a kid, football was my favorite. How things have changed.
That's right, Gory, how things have changed.
I did not like it, but I preferred other sports, such as judo and athletics. At the time, this was great. I was learning how to run faster and how to protect myself. Those of you who know me, I do have quite a lot of energy. But when I look back, judo was a quite a lonely sport. Athletics was good for fitness, but I only ran in big circles. What did I achieve? But football was a whole new thing. It was a team sport. So I started to make new friends and connect with teammates. I was no longer just running in big circles. I could stop, run, walk, tackle, dribble, defend, and attack. I had a lot of more choices. So how did football inspire me so much? Back in my days, my brother went to football. Every time he came home, I was excited. I always asked him if he could teach me what he had done in his training. He would make me do hard exercises and scream at me. For example, if I couldn't lift the ball, he would make me do 3 push-ups.
Wow, Gory, that must have been hard, especially if your sibling is acting like that. What made you keep persevering?
I know it sounds weird, but I realized how much he was helping and how much he was helping. I realized that because of him, I was putting together the pieces of a puzzle, bit by bit. I started to understand what the attackers do, what the midfielders do, and what the defenders do. It started to make more and more sense. Also, that sport made me feel happy. So instead of just crying about it, I did more push-ups, realizing that made me stronger. Realizing that however little I liked what my brother was doing, he was helping me grow, but also helping me get more powerful. If I still couldn't lift the ball up, I learned to push myself until I did it. I learned to keep trying my best. Also, I realized that the screen was on purpose, so I could know about real life. Sometimes our experiences are easier, sometimes our experiences are tougher.
In my opinion, Gory, I think it depends on the environment the player is playing in and also the noise of the crowd.
For me, Rastko, the yelling was actually helpful, and I liked it to some extent.
But Gory, that's not always true, is it? According to verywellhealth.com, when you get yelled at, your body and brain have various effects. You can feel anxiety, depression, and interpersonal problems. So how do you explain the fact that you like the yelling?
Because when you shoot a penalty, or a foul, or you do something wrong in football, people, teammates, fans start yelling at you. And that can make you nervous, but you somehow gotta cope with this. This takes us to the point of nervous.
Nervousness is a common feeling brought on by your body's stress response. Your body prepares to fight or flee a perceived threat.
When you shoot a penalty or a foul, your body feels a threat, because either you have to score or because people are booing you. And that can make you nervous. But some people don't have this type of nervousness because they figured out ways to calm down themselves, so they can be concentrated on the task ahead, which can be a foul, a corner kick, really anything.
I agree, Gory. You need to be ready for any type of situation because if you don't, it could impact your game afterwards.
The reason I liked the yelling was because I mastered the fact that I could calm down. It came to a point where I liked yelling because it gave me energy. It meant that the fans could see how good I was even though they couldn't appreciate it. They knew I was a dangerous player and they gave me even more energy.
Wow, Gory, that's an interesting tactic. I will definitely try that, and you should too.
A few months before I left Spain, I joined my first club called Constanza. I joined it because years before, my friend joined me and recommended it to me. My first match, we lost, but I left the pitch with a smile because I finally felt that sport that I wanted over so much years. It was so beautiful, so impressive. The second match, we didn't win or lose. We lost. We didn't win or lose. We tied 1-1. And although I didn't score or assist, guess what? I still left the pitch with a smile. Because going match by match, I realized that I started assisting and scoring. When they told me that I was leaving Spain, instead of just crying about it, I started to persevere and more. So I left the pitch with a bigger smile. I knew that my time was going to end and I needed to do even better. I remember my last match in Spain where I scored 4 goals, all because I knew that I could do better.
See, Gory, that right there is a perfect example of what we're going to be talking about. At first, Gory didn't have a great impact on the pitch, but he had fun doing what he loved. And if you aren't having fun, then seriously, what are you doing? You need to have fun doing something that you love. But Gory, have you noticed some of the words you've been saying frequently? Gory has been saying, I can do it, I will do it. I'm going to be better, I will be better, I'm the best. It's proven that when you have a positive mindset, you can achieve greater things. I remember when people asked Ronaldo who is the best player in the world. He said it was him. Now, some people would argue that this is arrogance, and perhaps you should be only saying this sort of things inside your head. But there's no doubt it helped him. I mean, look where he is now, all because he believed in himself over the years.
I agree, Rastko. I also remember that time when Ronaldo said, if you don't believe you're the best, then you will never achieve all that you're capable of. I also remember that time when George Rees said, football is a universal language. It brings people together, irrespectively of their nationalities, cultures, or beliefs.
This shows that you don't need to know the same language to play football because football is universal.
Another example is where I play football. They don't speak Spanish or English, but Bulgarian. My coach, when I do something wrong, my coach tells me by signs or examples of other players. Now, Rastko, could you please show us another perspective and make another point, how football can change your life?
Of course, Gord. So, we all know some people prefer football and others don't. I'm here because football is more than a preference. It's about making healthy choices and having better friendships too. To start off with, the healthy part. Did you know that football is one of the most popular and active sports in the world? Players average about 10 kilometers run in 90 minutes of playing time. But back to the positions. Someone who doesn't have a huge role in attack but still does a great job in defense.
Go for a defender.
Want to be the person who is playing the flashy passes, being a true playmaker and the least selfish player on the pitch.
Go for a center mid.
Want to be the person who has the strong foot and can finish shots or is incredibly fast.
Go up for an attacker or winger.
All of these roles require talent. But what am I talking about? You don't need to play football professionally or be serious about it. You can just play at break times at school, like me. But not everybody has to be serious about it like Glory here, who goes every day to training and is very dedicated to football.
But you can if you want, right?
Of course, Glory. But some people prefer to have a more flexible schedule. Don't feel like when you play football, you gotta play it all day, all night. You can still have other things that you prefer over it. And it doesn't matter, because football is about making friends too. Let me give you an example. Looking about 3 years back, I saw some of my best friends now in the hallways, and I never gave them a second glance. But when me and the guys started playing football, we had something we shared, a bond. You might not even know you like football at first, but try it once in a while, and you can still become obsessed, because that's exactly what happened to me. I never had a big joy for football, but once, when the monkey bars were closed, I thought I might check it out.
I agree, Rastko. When me and my friends didn't have a proper ball, we would use a flat one, or a small one. If we didn't have a goals, we would use snack boxes, or sweatshirts.
Yeah, Gory. And from the first touch I had on that ball, I didn't think I was talented. I think I just loved it. And that opinion still stays today. I don't think I'm particularly talented. I didn't even make the CISA team in football. But for me, the most important thing is to always try, push my limits, and know that I can be better than I already am. Now, in case you already like a sport and are engaged in it, please remember that football is one of the easiest sports to play with the least expectations. All you really need is 4 objects for the 2 goals and any type of ball, flat, small, it doesn't matter, just kick around and have fun with. I don't know if you guys have heard, but lately I have been more interested in the sport of basketball. But it's not always easy because I need to find a hoop, a rim, a smooth surface, a blacktop, a pumped up ball. It's not always easy to find. But for football, the possibilities are endless. Don't you see the simplicity of it? All you really need is 4 objects and a ball, and you can have a game started in no time. Now, Gory, that we've both said our bits, don't you think we should share something together?
Yeah, of course we do.
Well, you should know that me and Gory would probably not be best friends if it wasn't for the beautiful sport of football. Going match by match, tournament by tournament, school lunch by school lunch, me and Gory didn't get only better at our football skill, but also at some things that are valued in life, such as friendship and trust. This is why we encourage you to pursue the sport yourselves. Look what kicking a ball around can do.
I agree, Rastko. Well, football's what made me who I really am, and I like how it turned out. Of course, there was ups and downs, but that's a vital part of life.
Start accomplishing your dream, which means play football. Please. Woo!